Good evening.
Yes, yes, yes. Good evening.
Welcome to Dissect program. Of course, I go by the name of Novelist,
And I am Jewel.
and we sitting in a bipolar city. As far as it goes,
Yeah. Yep.
let's go.
Um, yeah, bipolar, not only the weather, but um politics, all of that stuff is bipolar. Everything's bipolar these days. Yeah.
Uh, all good though. How you been?
All good, all good. Just I had a busy week at work and that and real life reality. But all's good. I mean, all's good. You?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just chilling. Excited for another show, another program. I'm definitely gonna learn something, and I'm always prepared to learn. So yeah.
I'm excited too.
Yeah. So I guess let's not waste any more time. We have a special guest for you guys. She's an entrepreneur. Um, I want to use the word hustler, a real go-getter. She's a mother. Um, I don't know how you guys do it. Like we've had multiple women on here that handles like I don't know 3 or 4 different careers and still get kids. Um, She does it to a next level. We're going to get into that. Welcome our guests to Dissect, Pearl.
Hello.
Hi, Pearl. Welcome, welcome,
Thank you
welcome.
for having me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for being with
Yeah.
us. So, we like to start with the basics. We like to get to know our guests before we get
Mhm.
to, the business side of things. So,
Mhm.
tell us a little bit more about yourself as far as your background or
Background?
where you were born.
Okay. So I was born and raised in Canada, uh, Thornhill, Ontario, to be precise.
Right?
And so I stayed here until I was 30. So um, at that time, I met my husband, and he was Ghanaian. I'm also Ghanaian, so I have my background is Ghanaian. My mom and dad are from Ghana,
Mhm.
and so I had to make a choice at around 29 if I was going to continue my life here and maybe have him come and move here, and we start our
Mm.
life together here, or I make that leap to Ghana. And
Right.
so uh, I made that leap to Ghana for various reasons that we'll get into later,
Mhm.
and I spent the last 14 years hustling with him. So he was a restaurant owner. He had a small takeaway restaurant,
Right.
and it was, I don't know if you've ever been to Ghana, but it's a bit outside of Accra, and
Okay.
it's in a suburb, so it would be like the Thornhill of Accra.
Okay.
um,
Okay.
and um, and at that time, there was no other type of restaurant around. He did sell international cuisine, so we sold Chinese food,
Mm.
and burgers and fries and pizza and just things that you wouldn't get at
Right.
that time.
Nice.
And
Mm.
so yeah, so we expanded. When I got on board, we expanded. We opened like a sit down restaurant, and then we opened another branch a couple of years later, and then another branch a couple years later. And with every branch came a child. um, and
Celebrating.
yeah. And so, yeah, I was just in that space for a long time, the hustle of, you know, like staffing, and doing all the product development and putting new things on the menu, and I don't know if you know, but running a restaurant and managing staff in Ghana, or I guess uh
Non
any other, yeah,
yeah,
like any other,
all black
I guess,
establishments.
developing nation.
Right.
Yeah.
It comes with its curveballs. So every day was a different challenge. You had to
Mhm.
stay on your toes. You didn't know what tomorrow was going to hold. You don't know if you have
Yeah.
electricity tomorrow. You don't know if the water is going to
Mhm.
flow. You don't know, like, there's so much. It's a very raw environment over there. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I did that for with him for 13 years, and we created something beautiful, and we we were very busy though, very very busy. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot in those 13 years. And I unfortunately lost him in 2023. Um,
Mm. My
and
condolences. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, and so again, after he passed, I still, kept things going for about 2 more years, right?
Mhm.
And then I had to come to another decision, the same decision that I had to make, 14 years prior, which was, where am I going to spend the rest of my life? And now it's not just
Mhm.
me, it's me and my children, right?
Right.
And so very undecided, when those things happen, everyone's like, well, the natural thing to do is, now that you're by yourself and you're raising your children, the natural thing to do is to go back to Canada, right? That's where you're from, that's where your family's from, your friends, you have a lot more support there. But I was really trying not to come. I was
Mm.
trying so hard. Yeah, I was trying so hard to make it work. I love it. I love it there. I love the weather. I love the how things are just so laid back there,
Yeah. Yeah.
although it can be stressful, it's like such a weird, it's a weird mix, but it can be stressful and things are very different there, but there is this peace that you can't really get anywhere else, and so I was really trying hard to stay there. But the economy took a downturn globally. We really don't know what's happening in the world these days. And so I said, you know what? I do have two opportunities. I do have a life that I've built here, but I also have a life that I could also build in Canada too. And so I decided to come back to Canada, see, for the first time my kids came here, right? They've been in Ghana their whole time. And so
Wow.
they also needed to touch down on, mommy's roots, the whole time I was there, mommy talks funny. Like, she doesn't talk like a Ghanaian, she doesn't even understand
Yeah.
the language there. I was always kind of a bit of an outcast. And so
Yeah.
it was an opportunity for them to come and see where mommy's from, and and so we came, and they've enrolled in school, and they're just getting a feel for the Canadian life, and
Right.
yeah, and so but the business is still going on in Ghana. I still manage that from afar. And I do have a few, solid people in place over there to oversee things. I did have to
Mhm.
downsize over the last few years, because I knew that if it's too big, if there's too much, it's harder to manage. So let me downsize the operations a little bit. So now we have 1.5 branches. So we have one that's open seasonally, and then we have our main branch still going on. Yeah, and so there's that. And then
Mhm.
I think about, is it about a year ago? A year ago, a year ago, we have a space beside one of our restaurants, and it was vacant. And so the building landlord, she pitched the idea to me, oh, like, do you want to take this space, right? And
Mhm.
I didn't I it was a good opportunity. I don't know, you don't know much about it, um but rent is, and finding a good space in Accra and the environment, and the surrounding areas, it's pretty difficult. And we've
Okay.
maintained a relationship with my landlord for years, so she'd give me a really good rate for the space and everything. So I decided, so I've always had this thing in the back of my mind that I was going to open some type of like beauty parlor in the future. That's always
Mhm.
kind of been on my back burner. I grew up in a salon, so my mom is a hairstylist, or retired now. But like, I grew up in the world of hair, and then I was also into cosmetic sales and skincare. I worked for skincare brands for a really long time and all that. And so beauty was kind of like a part of me, whether I wanted to admit it or not, right?
Mhm.
And so when the opportunity came, I said, you know what? Yeah, it might be really cool to like open. It was a small space, just a cute little like maybe we do brows and lashes and like quick services, and
Mhm.
it would be a good way to kind of diversify my business portfolio because the thing about running a restaurant for 14 years is like you realize that you have to diversify, right? Because you know, when things when things become uncertain, you need to
Yeah.
have other streams of revenue
Mhm.
or other industries that you're in that can kind of like take the hit or be a cushion, while things work out. So, so yeah, I'm like, yeah, it would be cool to, have this little beauty spot. You could do nails, um, very low overhead, very easy to set up.
Mhm.
I could, as long as I get two or three, reliable girls that I could train well in customer service and stuff, we can do this. And so I kind of
Mhm.
started putting that plan into action. And the name of the beauty parlor would be called Lazy Essie.
Mhm.
So that's how Lazy Essies came to be. But now that I moved, now that I moved, I had to tell my landlord, you know what, this is what's happening. So we're going to put that project on hold. I'm just going to go to Canada for a little while, see what opportunities are out there, wait for the Ghanaian economy to kind of work itself out because
Mhm.
it just wouldn't be in my best interest or my children's best interest to now invest in another business in Ghana when the economy is so uncertain, right?
Right.
This is a time where people are pulling out of Ghana, like investors are pulling out.
Mhm.
People who are expats, I don't know if you know the year of the return, but there was an influx of diasporans
Yep.
entering Ghana. And bit by bit, over the last two
Mhm.
years with the change of government, people are kind of like, oh, you know what, I'll come back to Ghana a little later, you know. And so I didn't think it was
Mhm.
the right time to invest in something like that at the time. So we kind of put that project on hold. But my mother-in-law, um she was like, okay, you're going to Canada, I want to send you, like, she's amazing, I love her so much, she's been so supportive, but she's like, what I could do for you is she has a friend in the shea butter business, and she's always been trying to figure out a way to export shea butter and other natural ingredients overseas. And so every once in a while she's like, well, what's Pearl saying, like, is she into it? And it's never the right time. And so as I was leaving, she's like, you know what, I'm gonna like ship over a huge amount of shea butter and some other oils, baobab oil and coconut oil. And she's like, you know what, like, this is my like going away gift.
Nice.
This is my
Nice.
going away gift.
Mhm.
Make the most of it. She believes in me, she believes in my abilities, and she knows that like I have this background in skincare and stuff. And so I came in August. This is a really long intro, isn't it?
Yeah. No. No. Keep going. I
Well,
love it.
I actually want. Go ahead, Jess.
Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead. No. No. Go
Just
ahead.
let me know when I'm
It's
talking too much.
intriguing to me because it's near and dear to me, and I'll tell you why after.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah. And
Okay.
that's Navi has a
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
interjection.
Go ahead.
Okay. Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. So now I come back to Canada last August with my three kids in tow. I am a little distraught because you have to understand the last time I was in Canada, I was a single woman who, was a sales rep, and I would just, eat on the road, have fancy dinners, sleep when I wanted to, wake up when I wanted to, like, had this free life. And
Mhm.
now I'm in Canada with like three young children who are literally like keeping me caged in the house, like saying, cook, clean. Like, in Ghana, there's a lot of help too, right? You have a nanny, you
Yes.
have someone to wash the car, you have someone to do the
Yeah.
cooking, and here it's just me. So between August and like November, I was a mess. I was like a mess mentally. Like, I looking back, I was very tired all the time. I didn't want to go out. My friends are like, "Oh my gosh, Pearl's here after like 13 years. Like, let's do this, let's do that." And I was just like in really like deep reflection and like looking at the gravity of what has happened in my life, like,
Yeah.
and now the weather is getting colder. what?
It's supposed to be
Now the
getting
weather's
better.
getting colder. I'm cold all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to buy an extra heater. I'm always cranking it up, and like I'm just under blankets all the time. And I'm like, what have I made the worst decision of my life? Um, and then my mother-in-law, she keeps, calling me every once in a while saying, so like, what's going on with the shea butter? And I'm like, look, I'm just trying to get my life together. I'm trying to just survive
Yeah.
at this point. Um, yeah, and so I went through all the emotions, and I really looked inwards at, what I've gone through, and I processed that,
Mhm.
and then things just got easier. I got into a new routine. I figured out, when I need to do the laundry, when I have to, pre-cook and freeze stuff. And, I'm going to say, okay, Friday nights, we're going to eat out. Like I had to create a new schedule for us here
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
I can actually have a life. Right. And
Hmm.
I don't know if you're a mom, but sometimes as a mom, you forget that your children are getting older in this process, and they
Hmm.
are also becoming independent. So
Right.
you don't have to spoon feed them anymore. You don't have to change the diapers. Like they can manage things on their own. Um and and I think life in Canada also makes your kids grow up a little faster,
Yeah.
because in Ghana they coddle the young kids. They like, so my sons were getting, like, they were still getting bathed like by the nanny. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like, and they're putting on the nanny's putting on the lotion on them. And I just realized in Canada, like, no, they can do that themselves, actually. So anyways,
Hmm.
so that was like a learning curve for me. And so now, so then around October, November, things kind of just, started, stabilizing for me. And so I'm like, now I can look at like what's next, right? And so I got into the kitchen. I did have some old shea butter recipes that I was using on the kids and stuff, but I'm like, you know what? I don't want to just be this cliche and have the same shea butter, whipped shea butter. Like, there's a lot. Like, somebody has covered that already. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
There's whipped shea butter, uh, liquid shea butter, or shea oil. Like, the market is a bit saturated. And so
Yes.
I always knew that if I wanted to come into this industry, it had to be a different way. I'm not going to just be sitting on the shelf, collecting dust, right?
Right.
And so I kind of refined my old recipe that I was using on my children, and I came up with an easier way of applying shea butter, right? Which is a balm, and it's so you don't have to like be, rubbing your hands with it and breaking it down so much. It's very easy. It's a stick. You can apply it. It's very child friendly, which is great. So my kids all have one in their bags. When they go to school, they could put it on their lips. They could put it, and winter winter did a toll on them, and so they needed that constant
Mhm.
protection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I came up with the concept, and I was like, I think this can work. I made some samples for my friends and my family, and everyone's like, this is great, and they give me little suggestions about the smell and all this. And yeah, so finally I put it all together, and I think that was at the beginning a few months ago. And I was like, okay, now I'm going to see what I can do to bring it to market, right?
Marketing.
Which is a huge step for me, but I'm excited, and I
Hmm.
believe in the product. So now I am officially a mom, a single mom, a solo mom, and I still run the restaurant, and I still do. And now I'm launching a brand.
Nice.
Yeah.
That
So
was a
that's a
very
little bit of my bio.
that was a
Wow.
and a great way to introduce yourself and give us a lot of information about what you're doing, and just
Yeah.
for us to understand where you were, and to now where you've been through, what you've
Hmm.
been through to now. um, I think just listening to you, I think this is just a great release for you to be able to tell your story and have someone listen to you. I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
I've seen clips of your, I want to call it a podcast,
What
or is
is
it
it
just like
actually?
you
I
just
do want.
making?
I don't know what that is, but I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you review, like it's you. Yeah, I don't know if it's a podcast, but it's very
Yeah.
much like a podcast where you're giving insight into your life and the product line that you're getting into. And this is
Mhm.
near and dear to me because I also have a product line that I kind of
Oh.
on the shelf right now, like shelf as
Okay.
in it's on hold, but I
Okay.
do still have a product line. So this is why
Oh,
when
nice.
Navi told me about you, I was like, yes, this is great. This is great, great connection.
Yeah.
And I can
Yeah.
understand the stresses of it.
Yeah.
Being an entrepreneur, but you're a mompreneur, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, so wow, that's a lot of information. Navi.
Let it
It's a lot
sink in
of
a little bit.
information.
I have it's like there's so many questions in my head now that
Yeah,
Yeah.
the show will be done before I could ask half of them. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
first of all, let me ask. Well, I don't know if I should call this. Okay, let me ask one of them. How how is it running a franchise? Or was it like three restaurants in
It was
Af-
three at our height. It was three, and then when my husband got sick, we brought it down to two, and now we're operating. Yeah, we still have the two.
right? So how do you manage to run two restaurants in Ghana while being here and
Okay.
still have another business that you're
I
actually
know. I know.
running on your own?
So okay. So I think, and that is like, and that brings it back to like the whole lazy thing, because I find that when I got to Ghana and I realized, and we were you know, trying to scale our restaurant and everything, I feel like I'm always looking for easier ways to do things, right? And so immediately we quantified every recipe. We put it in a large book. It was like a huge project for me because my husband was literally spending a lot of time at the branch, tasting all the food himself. And I was like, this is
Mhm.
crazy. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we have our signature dishes. Let's cut back on all the, you know, one-offs. And then let's have solid recipes that we do at the branches. And then we started a production facility where we do most of our batch stuff. So our seasonings, our sauces for the rice, our spring rolls, our, you know, our what do you call it, burger bread, like everything that needs to be done that will influence the taste of the food is
Mhm.
done centrally. And it was actually behind my house. So I'd wake up in the morning, go over there, have meetings with the girls, you know, and all they would be doing is just going through this recipe book and weighing everything and measuring everything. And so it was basically, it became like a factory,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And then um, we would go into the branches, but we would do more admin stuff. And as the years went on, you realize, you know, everything is done online. You know, all the
Yeah.
communication with our chefs and our staff is done online. We do our tax payments online. Like everything is very online, especially after COVID. We really
Mhm.
kind of just had to figure out how to do things remotely, right? And so today, for example, I have all my suppliers on speed dial. They know when we are going to need something. So sometimes they'll give me a heads up, but if things finish sooner, I give them a heads up. And then we have the POS system is online. And so as every
Okay.
sale comes in, I'm able to see that on my computer. Everything is quantified. So I know if we sold 50 dishes of rice, then this is how much rice we have left over. Should be how much chicken we have left over. And then an alert comes up to tell me to order it. And then I just make an order for the restaurant. Um, HR is done over here. So and salaries are paid monthly, not bi-weekly, which is
Okay,
easier for
okay.
me. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so we have a system. It's called HubTel, where I could pay my employees and have their information sent to you know, a SNIT. I don't know. It's kind of like, I guess you would call it like where you pay for your employees' extra benefits and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I just send that off as soon as I do my payroll. And just after doing this for so long, like
Mhm.
it's like I don't even think about it anymore,
Right.
right? So I wake up at like 4 a.m. usually, or 4:30, because by that time it's about 9 or 10 over there.
Over there. Mhm.
I spend about 2 hours just making sure that they're set for the day and like everything is delivered. Managers know what they're doing, staff knows what they're doing. There's always a problem that I have to solve, so I'm gonna do that. But like it's literally just 2 hours now. When I first came back, I was spending more time, micromanaging because it was my baby and I'm not there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I've learned to let go a little bit, because you don't understand. The reason why my kids have only discovered Canada now is because we were in it. We were so entrenched in our business that we couldn't even take a break and take vacations, because we were like, no, the staff, they're gonna just destroy the business and everything's gonna, like, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so that's why, like, that's why it took so long for me to even visit. And I said, you know what, my priorities have to shift a little bit, and
Right.
I have to be a little bit, um I have to just, take my hands off it of it. I worked hard on this. Like everyone, I've trained the people that I have in place. I've worked so closely with over the years. I would wake up with a bonnet on my head, walk into the kitchen every day, and stir some jollof. Like I've done that. Like I've been in the trenches
Hmm.
for so long. I'm like, you know what? If I can't do this now, when am I going to do it? And what is a
Yeah.
successful business at the end of the day? Is it a business where your hands always have to be in it, where like you can't create a system and then throw your hands up a little bit? And
Yeah.
so I was forced to have to throw my hands up a little bit and say, you know what, the world is not going to end. I
Yeah.
trust these people that I have in place. Yeah, there's going to
Hmm.
be little hiccups now and then, but nothing really riles me up anymore. I've been through it. So like there's nothing you can say
Mm.
that could happen right now that I'd be like, "Oh my god." Like, no, like everything
You're on top.
is manageable.
Right.
Every problem will eventually have a solution, And
Right.
so yeah, so that's how I'm able to manage it. So I literally just spend maybe 2 hours in the morning, and then maybe an hour here and there, but it's always live. So if a manager has an issue, he'll text me or send me a message or an email or a
Mhm.
supplier. Yeah, so it's a core 2 hours in the morning, but then during the day I can, solve little issues on the fly. Yeah, so that's how I manage that.
Okay. So, in between being a manager or owner of two franchises
Hmm.
in back home in Ghana, and
Hmm.
now starting your new venture, Lazy Essies,
Hmm.
um, how is that going? The venture that you're starting today,
But I'm
like
starting.
now,
Okay.
yeah,
Like what's going on there?
what's going on there?
Okay, so
Well, because your mother-in-law wants to know what you're doing with Shay.
yeah,
So
what are
what
you
are we
doing?
doing with Shay?
What's going on? Yeah, testing is big for me, right? Like I'm never I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Let's just put it like that, right? And when I created this brand, I knew that it's going to take a lot of time in the trial phase, right? To make sure that the
Mhm.
formula and everything is perfect. Not everybody would do that. And I've seen some questionable products sitting on the shelves, especially shea butter, where like you open it up, you smell it, like you're just like, what is this? Like you literally just put something together and sold it, and you just like, well, hope for the best, right? No,
Mhm.
I am also not just catering to the diasporan. I'm not This is not just for the black woman.
Mhm.
This is a product that I see sitting on the shelf in Walmart and Shoppers Drug Mart and
Mhm.
I don't know, health food stores. It
Right.
is for everyone, right? And so it
Mhm.
was really important for me to make sure that every skin type is going to like the feel, is going to like the smell, is going to like the texture, and that takes time. So I do test batches and I send them out to
Right.
random people, to people I meet online, to a couple of my friends and stuff, but mostly strangers right now, right? And I send them uh, after they've used it for a week, I send them a link for a feedback form. I want to know how they like the texture, how they like the smell. I want to know how much they would pay for it. I want to know who used it. Did you use it on your kids? Like, I want to, did you like the labeling? Did you like the packaging? How easy was it for you to use this product? And so I'm
Mhm.
sitting here, and every couple of days, I get responses, and I'm refining my branding, my positioning, my containers, while these responses are coming in. And so
Wow.
I've discovered that the main problem with my current packaging is the push up element, right? So I have it here. Let me want to. I have it
Yeah,
here.
sure. Yeah.
But right now you have to push it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to push it up. And then when you're actually applying it, sometimes you can actually push it too far and then you have to push it up again.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
so they love the product, but that is going to be a hurdle, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I've been in talks with a few suppliers to turn this into a twist up. So it's going to be a
Ah,
twist up and a twist down.
Mm.
And that will just eliminate that problem because
right.
yeah, from the feet. And so I'm just, comparing prices, comparing these minimum orders. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to put all my money into this. I have to roll it out slowly. But you know how it is with suppliers. There's do you need 1,000 or do you want 5,000? Like I'm like, what about five? What about 500? What about 200? What
Right.
about 10? Okay. um, and so we're
Right.
just we're just going back and forth. I've ordered some sample containers. I've been testing with that, the roll up portion and all that, comparing costs. Because sometimes, so the sample batch that I've been using, I've literally just been buying the containers on Amazon and at like retail, right? And so the markup is very high. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be making
Yeah.
profit like that. And so, yeah, so I'm this close to finalizing packaging with one supplier. Actually, have to decide on Monday, and
Mm.
then they're going to ship. That's going to take another 4 to 5 weeks actually.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, I'm just going to continue marketing and creating build up and um, you know I think I'm about 99% sure with this last formulation that I've done, but I'm just going to send out a final formulation sample, and you guys could be
Mm-hmm.
included. I do want to get your input, um,
Yeah.
and then yeah, and then we're we're running. We're opening a Shopify page, um, and I don't want to do the Amazon route. I'm looking at all the different like online platforms and looking at their costs and stuff. It's a
Mm-hmm.
it's a new world for me. It's different than
Yeah.
food. Everyone I see already kind of they're gonna get their cut one way or another, and I'm trying to like kind of break through the middleman, but it seems like that's a bit hard to do, especially in Canada. But I
Mm-hmm.
am looking for the most low cost effective way. I'm looking at shipping, to get this product out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We can have some conversations offline about different things that
Sure.
I've tried because I went through everything that you're talking about. I've pretty much done
Okay.
for my business
For your
already.
business. Okay.
Yeah. So like did my labeling, I did my packaging, I did like all the samples, sending it to people, to all that stuff that you've mentioned.
Okay.
I've done
Okay.
that. Mine would have been like maybe 6 years, 8 years, maybe into the inception since the inception of my business.
Oh, wow.
So we can talk about that. And even the Shopify. I created my own Shopify account as well.
Okay.
So
Okay. So, yeah,
we can talk about
great
that
resource
stuff.
for that.
Hmm.
Great
Um,
resource.
but yeah, so being an entrepreneur and mompreneur, so
Mm-hmm.
you talked about the fact that your kids are now learning to be more independent,
Mm-hmm.
and so you being a businesswoman and a mom, like you're on call 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
When do you get time to make yourself look this beautiful? Like you're beautiful, you're
Really?
stunning. When do you get
Oh,
time to do this?
thank
Do you,
you.
do you
Well, I
have
was
that time
I was
for
like
yourself?
5 minutes late, right? I was like, what's going on? Yeah, my daughter's in the washroom. She's like, Mommy, like you have 5 minutes. Are you sure you can get it there on time? I'm like, don't worry, yeah. I don't know, I guess I don't know. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Hmm.
much. But
Yeah.
I do believe in self-care. And that's another thing, another reason for the name Lazy Essies. I
Hmm.
think and people would probably question my choices, like especially in Ghana. I always made sure that made time for myself,
Okay.
right? And that is actually a bit. contradictory to the African woman. So my
Mhm.
mother-in-law didn't really understand it. Some of my aunties are like, "What? You're like you're going to the gym? Like, and who's taking care of the kids?" Or like, or you're at the hair
Yeah.
salon again or whatever. But you don't understand, like, the way I look is correlates to the way I feel. I'm gonna be a better
Yes.
mom. I'm gonna be more present when I feel like I don't look like terrible. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And and um and so I've always like learned to take time doing the little things to help me feel good. And I think maybe taking care of myself is one of those things. I could be doing much better. So thank you so much for that, because
Wow.
I feel like I've fallen off. I've literally gained 15 pounds since I've been in Canada,
That
and
means that just means you're happy. Just
that's not
leave that
coming off
alone.
yet.
So
Yes,
that
I
just food is junk.
it's so much junk. And when I was in Ghana, like I would do a lot of walking. I'd walk around my compound, right? And I
Right.
even started like a group with my friends on Instagram, and we were like, okay, we're gonna do 30 minutes a day of like walking, right? And as the weeks went by, I was the only one doing the 30-minute walk every day, right? And I was like, what's wrong with these? Because all of the other people in the group were Canadian, my Canadian friends,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they all lost steam. A lot of them fell out of the group. You know what I mean? I'm like, hello, anybody there? And I didn't understand it. I was like, why don't these women make time for themselves? Like, it's so important. You know what I mean?
That's the Canadian lifestyle though.
Yeah,
Like it's like
yeah.
go, go, go.
Go,
And I
go,
think
go.
you've developed this really, really seamless, almost seamless, I guess. It sounds almost seamless routine. And you're like, I make time for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's like almost unheard of for the Canadian lifestyle, especially
yeah,
as a single mom and
yeah,
entrepreneur and businesswoman. Like
yeah,
how?
yeah.
You're like, where's the magic wand? What's the magic potion? What tell us?
So hold on, because this is we're still in the middle of the story, right? So this was in Ghana when I had a nanny, when I had people helping me with the food and all this stuff, right?
Yes,
It was
yes.
so easy to just say, you know what, my hair looks like crazy, so I'm just gonna go down to the salon or whatever. That was easy to do.
Right.
So when I get to Canada, and I'm taking care of the kids, and I have to take the kids to this program and pick them up for school, and on the way I'm just stopping by the McDonald's drive-through, and I'm like, oh, I can't cook tonight, so like let's order a pizza. And then, oh, but when are you gonna work out? I don't know, maybe tomorrow. I kept pushing it back, and then I'm like, okay, I get it now. I get why women over here put themselves last, because there's
Yeah.
just only 24 hours in a day, and you
Yeah.
can't do it, right?
Yeah.
And so, and then I was like a little deflated too, because I'm like, I was ready to start a movement. I was ready to be like, girls, Canadian woman, come on. This is how you do it. This is how you do everything. And you become like, you're a superwoman. Like, this is what you have to
Yeah.
do. And I'm
Mhm.
sitting in and I'm realizing I can't really talk yet. I'm still in the
Mhm.
process of now creating that time for myself over here. And I'm
Right.
slowly getting to it, right? Like when I came here, I guess the first 3 months I was in shock. Let's just ride those 3 months off. Um,
Mhm.
and then the holidays came, and that comes all that stuff. But like for the last, I guess you could say, between January and now, I was like, I'm really trying to refine my schedule to make sure that I have like a non-negotiable hour for myself,
Right.
to because when I work out, I feel so much better. When I like take care of myself, I feel like superwoman, do you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I don't, I don't. But yeah, so I'm working on that. And I really I feel like I can do that, but I also would love a space where women can just let's compare notes. What's
Yeah.
working for you? What's working for
Yes.
you? Like, you
Yes.
know what I mean? That would be so ideal for me. Like,
Mhm.
so when I came up with Lazy Esties, I also wanted to create a community of women who could say, you know what, like, what are you doing that works? I want to
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a work in progress.
Wow. It's like I'm looking at a reflection of what I've been doing already. How I
Really?
started this whole thing, like for me, being in the like podcast business.
Yes, yes.
Um, I started a group called Sip and Chat. So
Okay.
it was women, exactly what you talked about, how
Mm-hmm.
women are supporting each other. How do you do it? Like, what are the things that you're doing that are working for you? I know
Yeah.
we have different homes and different lifestyles that we live, but
Yeah.
it was a community thing. And just going back to like how we used to be, historically, like how many
Yeah.
generations back, that women used to communicate and share these ideas. Navi, are you
Yeah.
feeling left out right now?
No, I mean, I'm
My gosh, yeah, he hasn't spoken in a while.
dissect is school for me. You know that. So no,
Yeah, so that's amazing that you're thinking about doing that. I can just see that happening, and it's an amazing
Yeah.
thing.
And not
Um,
in a pretentious
mhm,
way. You know, I find that
yeah,
sometimes like women get together and like there's this one person that everybody kind of admires, and so we're just sitting there kind of waiting for like what's her secret? What's her secret? Like what's this hack? Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But like no, no matter how overburdened you are, there is one thing, at least one thing in your life that you're doing right. And I think
yeah,
women need to acknowledge that. Like the fact that you're still grinding, you know what I mean?
mhm,
Especially single moms, and you still get up every day and you haven't like, just given up and you know what I mean, went AWOL, means that you're doing something right. Something's there.
yeah,
I want to know what
yeah,
it is. Like what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Are
mhm,
you yeah, so yeah, if I do it, I want it to be a very unpretentious community where we really just talk, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was looking through your 5 things strong women should be lazy about.
Oh, okay. You did your
I
homework.
I enjoyed them. I enjoy them, and I'm planning to adopt some of these things and apply them to my life.
Yeah.
If I may, I'm just going to read a few of them.
Sure.
Well, so number one, try to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask, asking someone to help. I didn't, I wrote it down and I didn't write it properly.
Oh.
So asking or seeking for help doesn't show weakness. What it does, it shows that you have trust and vulnerability.
Yeah.
Um, to reach uh, reacting emotionally right away
Yeah.
never it's never that serious 10 minutes later,
Yeah.
right? It's true when we're emotional beings and we react right away, and sometimes
Yeah.
like, okay, I can't take it back now.
Yeah.
Aiming for perfection, we all know there's no such thing. I have to remind
Mm-hmm.
myself of that. Caring, um, caring for what everyone else thinks, caring about what everyone else thinks
Mm-hmm.
about your life. They're not living, so they're not living your life. Why are we caring about what they're thinking?
Yeah.
And never celebrating the small wins. We need to um, celebrate the small wins and
Yeah.
look back one day and wish we had.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't quote you properly. I wrote it
You did a
myself
good
and I
job,
wrote it
though.
really quickly. But
You did a good job.
I mean, there are great affirmations that you're giving to other people, like to
Mm.
remind people that we need to slow down and take a deep breath and
Yeah.
live, right? Be,
Yeah.
those real things that we need
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's comments coming in. Great story. Earlier, somebody was asking,
Mm.
if your husband was alive and around to be with you, would he be that help and that support that you needed?
Yeah, definitely. He is actually very instrumental in me realizing my strengths. So
Mhm.
before I came to Ghana, and I always like to say this, being in Canada is it's kind of like you're walking on a cloud. You're not, I find that up until the age of 30, I was walking on a cloud. I didn't, my was not grounded, right? And so my happiness came from superficial things. Did I go out for dinner? Did I go out for drinks? Am I, you know what I mean? Like, even when you talk to your friends, it's all very surface level conversation. And so you're not really sure of like who you are. But I find that back home grounds you, right? When your feet are on the ground, when you are dealing with people who don't care about your feelings, right? Because
Mm,
back home people don't care about your feelings. if your tummy's getting big, they're gonna tell you, hey, what's up? Your tummy's getting big.
Right.
If you know what I mean, and they're not afraid to disappoint you. They'll just call it out, and so things are just a bit more real and raw in Ghana. And so I feel like being there, and I realized my who I really was when everything is stripped away, when all the what do you call it, distractions are stripped away. Who is Pearl, right?
Mhm.
And but the thing is also, when I came to that realization, I also had my husband that was there to tell me, this is Pearl, this is who she is. She is stronger than she thinks, she is
Mhm.
smarter than she thinks, she is wiser. There was a lot of things about me that I just thought everybody had. There
Mhm.
was I was just like, doesn't everybody do this? Like, isn't everybody this strong? Doesn't everybody just keep going? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
even my husband, like when things happened in the restaurant or whatever, he would be very like he would react very emotionally and very fast, right? And then he'd always look at me and be like, why are you not freaking out? And I'd be like, well, we're gonna find a solution. Do you know what I mean? And he'd be like, do you know not everybody's like that? Do you
Mhm.
just let you know, not everybody. So he made me realize um a lot of things about myself that I did not realize were assets,
Right.
Mhm.
right? Yeah, and he and he said, like I quote, he was like, when you actually go back to Canada, right, one day, the people that you knew are not going to recognize you. He's like, you are different, you are a different woman now.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
he's like, I'm very proud of the person that you've become, right? And yeah, and so I know that he's very proud of me. He has taught me so much, like all of these. I'm not I mean, I'm smart, but I'm not this smart. Like he literally he was a very like he loved books, he loved reading, he loved talking about philosophy and psychology and history.
Mhm.
And it was a lot of boring conversations were had. That I'm glad that I stayed up for and stuff. But he really opened my eyes to the idea that not everything is what it seems. And get deeper with people. Get deeper
Mhm.
with people. Don't just have superficial relationships, like, um and he also taught me some flaws that I had about myself. Being married is not easy,
Mhm.
and he actually was like, Pearl, you're a great person, but you're disorganized, like just admit that.
Mhm.
And I'd be like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And like, meanwhile papers are all over the table and we're like, okay,
Yeah.
so give me the contract that I gave you last week. And I'll be like, I'm getting it, don't worry, it's somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? And I had to
Yeah.
like, so I had to like, he taught me, to the people that you love and trust, are if you love and trust them and they're around you, listen to what they say about you. And actually, if you trust them enough, um like take that as a grain of salt and kind of like build on that, because I could have been running away from the fact that I'm disorganized for so many years. But now I know I'm disorganized, so now I'm going to have calendars. Now I'm going to make lists every morning. Now I'm going to
Mhm.
manage that a bit
Mhm.
better, so that I'm not as disorganized as I really am. You know what I mean? I'm still going to get things done in my chaotic way, but I know that about myself. And
Mhm.
you can't tell me anything that I don't know. Do you know what I mean? So he
Right.
was, because he was a bit critical, and we would he was very real with everyone he knew. And so, but I find that a gift, because there's really like, yeah, it's kind of like an open book. I don't know if you guys are married or in relationships, but I think when you find your ideal partner, like it's kind of like they reflect back to you who you are. And I think a lot of times in relationships, when that reflection happens, you can either run and hide and pretend it's not you, or pretend it's not there and deny it, and and try to reflect it back. or you can face it, head on, appreciate that person's honesty with you, and then try to be a better person, and
Mm-hmm.
grow together as you're also reflecting, some hard truths to them as well. So yeah, that's who he was in my life, and I'm forever grateful. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All
Did I
right.
answer the question? I always
Yeah,
venture
you
off.
did. Yes, you did. You answered more than that, I think,
Okay.
for the person who asked. Yes, he was a cornerstone for you and a
Yeah.
backbone for you. So,
Yeah. Definitely.
um, yeah, wow, 15
Uh,
minutes into the show already.
Wow. That went by so fast.
um,
Yeah,
but before we go, because we're not even like, I don't even think even tapped in, like, right? So,
yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
have you have to say, right? So, our show is done by seasons, and our season is almost up. So I'm taking the opportunity here to
Oh,
invite
okay.
you back on our show
Hmm.
next season when it starts. Yeah,
Okay.
right? Hopefully, you know.
Oh,
Well,
okay. So, your show. Okay, this is the end of a season, like the.
well,
It's
well,
coming
we're not
down,
to the end of the
winding.
season yet, but it ends in May.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Cool.
4 weeks left.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
come back in.
Nice.
We come back in November. So
That's very nice. Cool.
you know,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
yeah. So definitely, and by then, the product will be out and all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm
You know.
excited. Yeah. I'm excited.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool.
Um, Another thing, Jay, do you want to get into it?
Sure. If Pearl's down, we didn't get to ask her, but we
Mm-hmm.
normally play a game at this time of the show. It's called Quick Cuts, and
Okay.
we just ask you a question, and the object of the game is that you would answer quickly whatever the first thing that comes into mind, that you would answer that, and then we move forward. It's not meant to embarrass you in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Based
Okay.
on your answers, you can choose if you want to embarrass yourself or not.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe,
This is fun because
maybe
I overthink a lot. So yeah, this should be fun.
all right, maybe we could do 4 questions.
Okay.
Um, okay, so I'll go first, I guess.
Mm.
Um, which would you rather, respect or loyalty?
Loyalty.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, if you were stranded on a deserted island, who is one person that you would take with you, that you would want to be there with you?
Oh my God. Um. um. That is crazy. I don't have an answer. I think my first, if I was able to get on a stranded island, I'd want to be there by myself. I always tell my kids, I'm like, I can't wait to go to Fiji without you guys. I'm going to Fiji.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I can't think. I mean, if my husband was around, I would definitely say him. But yeah, I don't know. No, no one. I
Okay.
guess.
All
All
right.
right.
Um. Oh my God, I forgot the other one. It was right there.
Banku or fufu?
Fufu.
Okay.
That's a good one.
I need you to open a restaurant here, please, and
I
thank
know.
you.
I
My
know.
friend
Everyone
had a
assumes that I
restaurant.
would. Everyone assumes that
Yeah.
I would. I'm just so tired. Like I really also wanted to get out of like the food for a
Food
bit.
business. Hmm.
Cause like it's a lot, it's a lot. It's one of those businesses where it's really rewarding, but it can tire you out. And I've just
For
been
sure.
going, going, going for so long. So if it happens, it will happen a bit later.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Uh, my last one, and then you, Jay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, what's the most? No, no, no. What's the biggest risk you ever taken? I guess I'll narrow it down to your business or yeah.
Um, Not my move to Ghana. That was a big risk. But business risk, I think, was opening our second branch. Is this like a joint thing? It was a joint thing.
Right.
But it was, Yeah, it was one of those like let's put everything into this. We're draining every account. We're just closing our eyes and we're just leaning on faith with this
Mm,
project. Yeah. Um so that was like the biggest risk that we've taken, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
as a
Okay.
business. Yeah.
The
Good
worst
questions. Oh, sorry.
the worst piece of advice you've ever been given.
Um what about working in corporate? What about saying goodbye to entrepreneurship
Yeah.
and, getting a 9 to 5?
Wow.
No,
That's
why?
right. That's oh my god.
Yeah.
That's crabbing the
Someone doesn't really like you. Whoever
I
says
know,
it.
right? No,
that's
but sometimes,
type of
and
advice.
that's why like advice needs to come like with a grain of salt, because like
Mhm.
if somebody's been in corporate their whole life and working for someone is all they know, like what other advice are they going to give me?
Right.
My thing is, you don't have to give advice. Nobody asked you to say
True.
anything.
Oh, you just
But if you don't know like the entrepreneurship world and you haven't been an entrepreneur, like I don't know, but
One
yeah.
last one.
Mhm.
Oh no, no, there's one after this. Red, or ochre stew.
Red. Ooh,
Okay, I love my ochre stew. Okay, okay.
really? Are you
Yes.
Ghanaian?
I'm lost.
No, but I
I'm
love the
Ooh,
food. I love the
I
food.
am lost.
okay.
I'm lost on that question. Did you say red, red?
Red.
Yeah. So that's
What?
like fried plantain with beans, right? Like a bean stew. I actually had that for
Mm-hmm.
Easter. It's so good. I can eat fried
Yes.
plantain
That sounds.
anytime.
Yeah, me too. I'm
That's
not.
my thing.
Yeah. Oh, so I
It's
don't.
so perfect. It
It
is like
is.
it's
It
like
is.
it's one of those foods where you're like, okay, God exists. God
Yeah.
definitely exists. Because this is the perfect food that goes with everything. You can throw it on any
Everything.
like it's sweet. It's just yeah.
Okay, so
Lovely.
Pearl, when are we coming over for dinner again?
Yes.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I'll send the invite.
Okay.
I'll
Oh,
send the invite.
I think Jake must have fell off.
Oh.
Well, it's the end of the program anyway.
Yeah, yeah. This was
Uh,
fun.
yes, and hopefully you could join us again and do it again.
Yeah, yeah. Is
And
this recorded or is it just strictly streamed?
it's live. It's live,
Okay.
streaming live, and I believe in the back it could be recorded. I'm not
Mm.
sure. But yeah, thank you for joining us. This was
Yeah.
exciting. If you want to shout out anybody or put out your social medias for your business,
Mm-hmm,
go ahead
mm-hmm.
and do that.
Yeah, I guess you could follow me at Lazy Essies on TikTok,
Hmm.
and ooh, just search for Lazy Essies on all the platforms. That's my business page, but through there, you can connect to my personal page. It's also something that I'm just, deciding on if my personal brand or the product or the brand page is more important. But right now, I'm working on my personal brand. But you can look for me at Lazy Essies, LAZYESIS, on all the platforms.
Thank you. All right.
Where did she go?
Yeah, she's.
She's gone.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you see
We
me?
can hear you. We can't see you though.
Pearl, it was a
Yeah.
pleasure.
I
It
already,
was a pleasure. You know,
Yeah.
I already know what happened.
live TV.
I
We'll
already.
definitely have to connect
Yeah.
and do a chit chat. Maybe even go out for a coffee.
All
For
right.
sure.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Take care. Nice meeting
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too.
I will talk.
Bye.
Bye. There you have it. It's just me and a voice.
Navi. It's my camera. I have no idea what happened. I left and came back. But anyways, I'm here in spirit.
Right, right. So who goes? Another exciting show. I definitely learned a lot. Just sitting here and listening to Pearl's story, it could be very inspiring. And I'm pretty sure you guys watching the program enjoy half of the stuff that she had to say. Um, thank you again for joining us and, you know, sharing your life story with us and your businesses. And hopefully we get it back in the future, next season, or maybe, you know, sooner than next season. So, Jay, Spirit,
Yes,
um,
yes, yes. Can you hear me?
yeah, well, I can hear you. I should have.
Oh my gosh. Next week we have a reggae artist from Toronto, Candice Cash on. Tune in. Don't be late for that episode.
Right. And do remember on Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to
Wednesdays from 7 p.m. That is Minds in Motion with me, your host, Jewel. Tune in. Educational show. You won't want to miss those episodes. Tune in on the same platform, TDN TV.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. You guys have a blessed week and a blessed weekend. It's been Dissect. Peace.
First to the Dissect team because you guys make today possible.
Thank you.
Special shout out to everyone who's made the film possible. To everyone.
Or if you don't want to look at it like that, dissect all you really, I mean dissecting.
I like
The
what-
comments of people that saying things.
I don't even know how to respond to that, to be honest.
Could be the past when you were like,
Recorded a whole song with a newborn baby breastfeeding.
A while performing, the could drop out the mic.
this guy took his sock. His sock
Put
off.
it over the mic.
Put it over the mic.
Oh my. You know you have to love yourself first.
I love to sing.
Just know how to dance.
And then the people who think the comments are bothering.
The meds that was on was about the lack of respect.
My brain don't work so fast when it come to them real day. Him say when him wake up a morning time, him a float.
That was the funniest thing ever happened to me.
You get
I'm grateful for the blessings that I have so far.
It's just a matter of, for example, Tingo Nice again.